Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back here to Camaro's Not Coffee. So, of course, we have the Camaro right there in front of us. So, what do we have going on today? We are going for an oil change and a coolant change. So, this video is just going to be the oil change, and then I'm going to show you guys the coolant change in a separate video so that it's not kind of too much information at one time. I'm a little under the weather, so I sound a little bit off, but don't worry, I'm getting better. So, we're going to jump right into it here and get this rolling. Okay, so I do have an oil change video posted on the channel already from a couple years ago, but I wanted to remake it just so that it was clearer and everything made more sense to anybody who may be watching this as a reference. This is the same process I've used now every time I've done the oil change. So with a little more experience, I want to put it up again, remade video, so that it's easier to understand for everybody. All right, so the first thing you want to do is get together all of your tools. And then we have our oil. You're going to need up to 6 quarts. I have an extra little bit left over from last year, and then filter. This is what I went with. So we'll throw our tire chocks under the right passenger wheel, both sides. Okay, I'm going to do a tire rotation also, so I'll break all the lug nuts loose before we jack up the car. Go ahead and jack up the driver's side of the car first. And pause. Okay, go ahead and throw your jack stand under there, and then we'll drop the jack down and do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so as an extra safety feature, I like to take tires off, even if I wasn't doing a tire rotation, and then I'll just throw them under the rockers. Rocker on this side, and then on the other side, through it towards the front, just for a little extra protection there. And then once you got that set up, I like to just kind of give it a little hip check. Make sure it doesn't move. If it moves, feels unsteady, you're going to want to restabilize it because you're going under this thing, you don't want it falling on you. So we should be all good. Okay, so we got our oil pan. This is a 9 quart, 6 quarts of oil, so it'll be enough. Make sure you take any plugs out in the center, and then make sure this is tight on the end. So we'll get this lined up. Our bolt is up here. So this is our 15 millimeter, it takes a 15 millimeter socket. So we're gonna have to get that loose and get this, try to position this. Okay, once you break it loose, you can undo the rest by hand. And there we go. So we'll just let this drain for a while here. And then make sure you position it, because as this gets lower, it'll kind of curve back towards me. So make sure you position this pan so that it'll catch it the whole time. Okay, so then go ahead and wipe off the bolt that we just pulled out of there, and take a look at this seal there. Make sure there's no cracks in it and that it's still kind of intact. If there is damage, you're going to want to buy one of these. They're like $2 or $3 from the auto parts store, so pretty cheap there. But this one looks in good shape, so we'll be able to throw it right back in there. Okay, so go ahead and take off our oil cap here. That's where we'll put the oil in. Take this cover off. It's got a pop over here. Right, move this off to the side. And now right down here is where we have our oil filter. So we're going to take this off with a 24 millimeter socket, and an extension is usually easiest to use. Put this back on for now just so nothing gets in there too. So you have to pull this wire out of the cord out of the way a little bit here. Pick our filter up out of there. So yucky, gunky filter. We're gonna throw that in the oil pan just while it drains. Okay, so we have our filter O-ring in here. So you're gonna take this out with the pick, work it around. Go ahead and get this thing out of there. This one is trashed. The new one comes with one, so we'll put that in there. All right, so yeah, I got the Fram filter, 15,000 mile protection, so that's gonna match the amount of life that the oil has, pretty much. So that's the big thing. Make sure the oil life and the filter life match. So we have our filter. I wiped this off a little bit, so I'm just going to go ahead and push this into the cap here. It's the easiest way to do it. Locks in there. Then we have our O-ring in here, so we'll open this up. Okay, so this is our new O-ring. So all you want to do is I have a little bit of oil in the cap here, so I'm just going to run my finger in it. This is some clean oil. And then go around the O-ring with that. Of course, I should have put 2 gloves on, but I did not. We'll go ahead and just get a little thin layer on there, and then we throw this around the outside. And then we'll take our pick again and work that down into the groove at the bottom. Okay, and you see it's in there now, so all we're gonna do is go ahead and throw this back under here, making sure that that filter stays in place. And I'll hand screw it until we torque it. Okay, so we got a torque wrench and we set it to 23 foot-pounds. The spec is 18. I like to up that just a couple because the slippage that can occur here. So go ahead and just torque this up to our 23 foot-pounds. Click. Do it one more time. There we go. All good. Oh, okay. Here we go. Whee! So you guys can see this is not really happening. Nothing much happening here. So we're gonna take a towel, whip this off, and then reinstall our bolt. So. Get our oil pan out of the way. Okay, and the same thing, the spec is 18 foot-pounds for here. Also, I'm going to torque it to 23. Do it one more time. Okay, 23 foot-pounds, all good. Okay, so we got our 5-quart container here. You're gonna wanna put all this in first, and then the last quart, you're not gonna need all of it, so we're gonna wanna measure that in and then check with the dipstick and everything. So we'll take this cap off again. Have a funnel of some sort. You may have to hold it there. And then we're just gonna go ahead and pour all 5 quarts in. After we pour some in, we're gonna check below to make sure that we have no spilling, that that's closed up properly. Okay, so we'll come on under, we'll take a look at our bolt, and nothing seems to be leaking out of there, so we're looking pretty good. So we'll go ahead and keep adding the rest of the 5 quarts. Okay, go ahead and put the cover back on, slide it in at the back, pop this side down, and then make sure this is lined up and put your cap back on. And go ahead and put your tires back on. Okay, and then go ahead and do a loose tighten on all 5. And then what I like to do is with it up in the air, just go around in the star pattern still and just do a little spin until it spins. Just make sure you always work on that star pattern.